Welcome to webnative for the 9th week of 2013, where we talk about everything that's not Twitter.
Yeah.
Because that's Twitterati.
Yeah.
Looking around the web recently, there was a school reunion that came across your how did you see it?
Well, there's a brilliant place to start, isn't it? How the fuck do these things find you? Well, they find you because you're on Facebook and somebody knows you from your class. Not only was it bad enough for me to turn 40 in January on the 17th, I then, a month later, get an email saying, do you know it's the 40th year since you were at school? It's like, well, you know what I mean.
Everybody's 40.
Everybody's 40.
You know,
it's the 40th
let's have a
birthday,
school reunion.
First of all, no. The answer is no. I mean, first of all, that's the resolute answer. I mean, I remember school being awkward, funny, abrasive. I was bullied. I bullied other people because we were in that sort of tinderbox of sort of growing up. There was a class structure to it. There was people who were snobby. There was people who were good looking. There was people who were sort of council house. You know, and so why the fuck would I want to go back to that? What is that about? Like reunion. Reunion for me is like you get back together based on some wonderful event that was like, oh, we should celebrate that thing we did as a memory one time. There is nothing I want to celebrate about school. If the only reason why people go to reunions is they want to celebrate the fact that they're this ordinary, upstanding, run-of-the-mill character, and they want to do a sort of assertion if they were successful with their life or not. What happens to the person who goes to a reunion and finds out that their life has been actually shit for the last 20 years?
Well, no one remembers them.
Yeah, exactly. That's the worst thing in the world. Can you imagine walking into a reunion and you stand there and somebody come over to you and said, "What's your name?" You'd be like, you were destroyed. You know.
I don't know. As I say, I was invited back to a 10-year reunion from my university class.
That's not so bad.
But even
it's only
then,
a decade.
I mean, it's a strange. There's a strange two sides of a coin for me, because there are loads of people I worked with for years that I never saw again, and I had their mobile phone numbers. And if Twitter and Facebook had been around, I would have probably maintained some connections. However, there were far more people who I just don't want to see ever again.
I do want to say as well that this is a perfect startup idea, because if you want a sort of disruptive startup, all you need to do is hire a video blogging team or social media team to go on the ground, pretend to be somebody else who you know is not going to be there, and just have them go there and video and whatever.
Or the other thing was to go and stalk around the outside and take photos in through the windows.
And then post them on Facebook while they're there, you know, and tag them all in it. Oh, we've been spied on. That'd be amazing. No, I really don't want to go. I mean, at first, it sort of tickled me a little bit in terms of, oh yeah, back at school, and I remember some of the characters, but also, you know, I don't want it to refresh a load of old stuff.
There's a lot of stuff to...
For me, school was not enjoyable. I didn't get the most out of it. I felt like it was a bit of a prison. The people that I was thrown into, really, it was like fucking Mad Max for education.
I love learning. I love learning new stuff. So in terms of having the opportunity of the school system in the UK, I mean,
no
very
doubt.
privileged.
No doubt.
No, but there's times and places in your life that you don't need to revisit.
I think it's an amazing topic, really, to sort of say that, social media, yes, it's connecting us all together, but it's also connecting us to memories that we had that are no longer relevant.
Well, I think the struggle Friends Reunited was huge before, sort of, I remember that before Facebook, and it kind of dissolved and petered out. Its reincarnation is sort of a keepsake site where you can put all your old school photos on and all that sort of stuff. But it's never rose to the prominence that it really had.
Well, they're missing a trick, aren't they? I think the biggest problem here is more reunions would happen, more bonding over generations would happen if the middle section was dealt with, which is the audio video clips on a website like Friends Reunited. Why can't it ask me 5 questions? Where are you with your life now? What's changed since school? Have you got any kids? If you had that information, I'd probably go, because I get to see all the other people.
The question is this just us? I'd love to know if other people have been to reunions and it's just been a brilliant thing for them. They've met up with people that they hadn't seen. I mean, if you're at a mixed school, there's the whole thing of bumping into ex-boyfriends or girlfriends, presumably, as well.
And the ones that you fancied and everybody knew you fancied, but they didn't want to go out with you. I don't want to go back to that. End of story. End of show. We'll catch up with you next week. And no, I'm not coming to your sodding reunion. Goodbye.